one of those people, and this might sound, I know what I'm going to say is very polarizing, but I oftentimes stand on the position of I don't necessarily blame the drug dealer, I blame the user, right? And I know that can go a bunch of different ways, right? Because when you talk about chemical dependency and you think about drug abuse in that context, some people, all it takes is just one time for them to get hooked, right? And that one time is a result of them just seeking some temporary level of escapism from their problems, right? And then they just go that, their life goes downhill, or spirals downhill into addiction. But I mean, I've never heard of a drug dealer holding somebody up and saying, "Here, smoke this. Here, shoot this in your arm." You know what I'm saying? So
I'm sure they out there.
They were out there, Dito. They were
okay. All right.
It was long two lives.
That's fair. That's fair. I wouldn't know, right?
I get your point, though. I get your point.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, but
motherfucker's not an option, nigga. Smoke it.
but the issue for me is that when you go into your neighborhood, you know that the deck is already stacked against us, right? Socially, economically, right? And you just tearing down the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Or just killing our people, right? And then you speak out of both sides of your mouth, because on one side, because a lot of these niggas, which is the reason why I became really disenchanted after getting knowledge of self, I became disenchanted with the nation, right? Because so many of the dudes that I was aware of that were older than me, and they were the peers of my brother, my older brother, these niggas was talking about knowledge of self and uplifting our people, but they were selling drugs and they was killing each other. So I was like, well, which side of the coin are you looking at? You know what I mean? Or which side of the fence are you standing on? Or you just straddle in the middle because it seems to suit you. You know what I mean? So, I've always sort of had this hard, pause, this sort of, rather hard stance on our people, or particularly people from our neighborhood, destroying the neighborhood for the sake of just personal gain.
A few moments later.
How long though? Like you said, the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Like the 80s is 40 years ago.
Yeah.
How long do we keep a human being locked up for something that he did in the 80s, man? Like, I think that's incredibly inhumane. I think everybody deserves a second chance, unless you just went on a raping spree at some point in time in your life or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody deserves a second chance. I don't think that there should be a sentence. I don't think that there should be a sentence longer than 25 years.
You're right, Z. But what about the instances where these niggas are predicate felons?
Oh yeah, right? You out of here if you can't get your shit together on a violent tip,
right?
But for the people that he did whatever he did in the 80s. Let him come home. If he does anything crazy after that or whatever, then you back and you're not seeing the light of day. But I feel like the whole lock people up and throw away the key, just mentality of American, law enforcement, man. I think it's just incredibly inhumane, and I think that a lot of us are numb to it. Especially those of us that have been lucky enough to have never seen the inside, or maybe lost somebody to prison or whatever the case may be, man. But the closer you get to that shit, like that shit really is a very inhumane process that we've just become used to.
Yeah. I agree.
And it doesn't. Incarceration and rehabilitation are two different things, right? Like, so you can incarcerate people and you use them for very little. You use them for labor. You use them for for just like brute shit, but you're not really creating better men in there or women in a woman's situation. But you have all of this stagnant energy that could be used for something. But as long as you're not using those people for good and you just locking motherfuckers up to be forgotten by their family, I don't free every fucking body, other than the rapists and all of that shit. But like, free most motherfuckers.
Yeah. I go ahead, Ak, I'm sorry.
I know that in Europe, they literally work on rehabilitation. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they really like, you know what I'm saying? Their prisons are nothing like American prisons.
Yeah.
Damn, they look like a college. You know what I'm saying? Where they're really trying to like recidivate the help them prevent them from recidivating back into crime.
Right. Yeah.
Is that the right word? Yeah.
Recidivism. Yeah.
And when they come to here, they just want to bring them back into slavery.
Yeah,
literally,
they bring it back into slavery. And when you escape, it's still you got to work on eggshells just to escape that. You know what I mean? Because when you get placed back into that environment that you left, because you're literally in a time zone, a time capsule.
Yeah,
and you come back into this environment, you're thinking it's the way you left it, and it evolved, and then you get caught in the mix because you're still reminiscing about shit that you evolve about. You know what I mean? This is what I think happens. I don't know.